Darkness, darkness. Now, this is truly a spiritual message, and I'm truly being led by the Spirit of God concerning this. But darkness, yeah, man. I mean, darkness is, exactly how this sounds. Darkness. I mean, it's very dark, and there's many aspects of darkness. And I'm just gonna get more into that concerning darkness. Even as I'm being led by the Spirit of God. Yeah, I mean, see, the thing about darkness is, there's particular participants of darkness. I'm being real, and then there's certain people who come into darkness and all this stuff. But overall, it all just originates and, you know, links into Satan's kingdom, more or less. And I'm going to be very real, about this matter. These people who are a part of darkness and just in Satan's kingdom and all that stuff. See, what you got to understand is that these people are addicted to this darkness too, believe this matter or not. And you certain people who are under this stuff as well, man, you guys are done. But anyhow, yeah, these people are addicted to this darkness, And see, the thing about you religious people and you Christians and all this stuff, it's like you guys don't really understand how this stuff really works concerning darkness. You guys, I don't know what you Christian people are. Man, I don't have much to say concerning you Christian people, more or less, and you religious people. But anyhow, yeah, darkness is a real matter, and darkness comes in many forms. There's different levels of darkness, different aspects of darkness, but overall, darkness is just darkness. It is very much of, the devil, and yeah, he uses different individuals and beings to carry out different assignments of darkness. I will want to say, and see, you're not going to believe in this type of message if you're not really spiritual in God, and that's what this gets into as well, because darkness is a real matter, and darkness can come in the form of deception. Darkness can come in the form of hidden agendas. Darkness can be within a particular person or being too, or animal, if I'm being real. And this stuff gets into more other beings too that I can't really get into concerning this particular, time frame of message. But anyhow, yeah, darkness it's pretty much just, of the devil. And darkness is also just like a lot of unclean spirits, are a part of darkness. And yeah, darkness, like I said, these certain individuals and beings are addicted to this, this darkness. So majority of them will not be coming out of darkness. That's what you gotta realize, you certain religious people who be, professing all these things, but you're just not spiritual when it comes to God. And that's the problem that I be really having with you certain individuals, and this is Mellow speaking concerning this too, and God does have an issue with this as well, but, once again, this is Mellow speaking concerning this more or less. But even as I get more in depth about darkness, yeah, and as I be led by the Spirit of God concerning this, yeah, darkness is a real matter. And what you gotta understand is that these certain individuals are addicted to the darkness that they're participating in. So there is no coming back for these people, more or less. Majority, I gotta say majority of them. I will say majority. There's very, very few that God has interest in bringing out of the darkness, and more or less all of the other ones just perish. And yeah, they do go to hell and all these other worse places, in the spirit world and all that stuff. And they do reap what they sow too in the earth realm and all that stuff too. But anyhow, yeah, darkness, these people carry out a lot of assignments from the devil, man, witchcraft and different levels of witchcraft is a part of this stuff. I want to say mental witchcraft, voodoo is a part of darkness as well too. Because a lot of you people don't believe in all this stuff for some reason. But I mean, I'm already knowing, like, you people, you Christian people, I already know y'all definitely don't believe in all this stuff. You may have somewhat heard of it or whatnot, but you guys truly don't believe in this stuff, and I know you don't. On a spiritual level, I know you people don't. You other religions, you just don't believe in these matters. But anyhow, yeah, voodoo. And some of you may not truly really know what that is. And honestly, yeah, voodoo, as I get into that, some of you do and others really just don't in a way. But yeah, voodoo is just dealing with like, there's different types of voodoo, yeah, in a way. But voodoo is just really dealing with like a spiritual ritual taking place over a soul, to raise up and more or less just do harm for the kingdom of darkness. And voodoo, you certain people, you hear voodoo and you think of like dolls and all that stuff, and yeah, that's somewhat a part of it too, but it gets deeper than that. The stuff is rituals and particular rituals and seances and stuff that's being done over a soul to raise them up for darkness. And this stuff is taking place, more or less, whether you believe this or not. And this is the type of darkness that I'm talking about, that these certain individuals, they're too far in and there is no coming back for these type of individuals. I'm just being real. And see, these Christians and all these these religions and religious people, they're never gonna, touch these type of matters, because they're just, once again, they're religious. And, and honestly, the God of Israel is going to handle these matters concerning these other individuals of who I'm speaking on and all that stuff. But anyhow, yeah, that voodoo is a part of this darkness stuff too. And then you got other things that take place, like, I want to say, as I'm being led by the Spirit, what else be taking place? Just a lot of stuff like concerning darkness. I'm truly trying to be led concerning these matters by the Spirit of God. But I mean, it's a lot of different stuff that be taking place that's just of the darkness and more or less Satan's kingdom. Just a lot of sacrificial stuff, a lot of like sacrificing different things to go to the next level with Satan, and all this deep stuff is really taking place. And you people just like oblivious, I want to say, to these matters. You people be so caught up with like the surface of things, and man, this stuff is not a game, though, is what you gotta understand, because this stuff will continue to take place, and this stuff is not a game. But yeah, just trying to see if there's anything more. There is a lot more, I will get into, and other things I may not list in this particular message. But man, I mean, it's a lot of stuff that that individuals and beings are a part of, that is very dark, and part of darkness. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I already mentioned voodoo and all that stuff, and that is on some supernatural stuff concerning that voodoo stuff, because these people do certain rituals and certain seances and prayers, satanic prayers, I want to say, that causes, I want to say, a raising up of a certain soul to like ultimately just operate out of this darkness that I'm talking about, to cause harm and to overall just carry out darkness with Satan. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of deep matters concerning this stuff. And yeah, I mean, darkness is just a real matter, more or less, And yeah, I mean, honestly, like, darkness will be a relevant thing, for much of a time frame, if I'm being real. But yeah, I believe that's all concerning this matter, concerning this message. With all that being said, yeah, darkness. This is something that Satan thrives in, believe it or not, he does thrive in darkness, and many things can cause you to be of darkness when before I close this out, like when you reject God and all this stuff and you do certain things. Yeah, this is when you become a part of darkness, whether you believe this or not. But with all that being said, yeah, I'm out.